Hi, good evening, everyone. So, this session would be a continuation of what we've started already. I will tell you how to interpret the analysis that you carried out using the pick tool. But before then, I'll start with the Pareto's principle. Many of you should be familiar with the Pareto's principle. It's also known as the 80-20 rule. Basically, what this rule means is that um, you should spend 80% of your resources, which includes time, on things that will give you 80% results, and 20% of your resources on things that will give you 20% results. The original principle is based on the philosophy that people usually spend 80% of their efforts, their resources, money, human capital, social capital on things that would yield 20% results. That is actually just 20% of what we do that gives us results that are worth 80% in value. So I want you to work against that psychology. I want you to be very critical, to be able to come up with very decisive, critical, and strategic activities and actions that is sure that you can ascertain that will give you 80% results. This is not going to be a very easy task. You're going to go through the prioritization process that you've gone through again and think about each project one by one in the light of the payoff that we discussed last week. Then try to think about it. Will this give me 80% results? True. If I put in 80% efforts, will I get 80% value back? This is almost like telling you to do what you've done already, but this is an opportunity to reflect and think about the 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 ideas that you've selected already. Now let me show you the how to use the pick tool to interpret the work that you've done. So for instance, everything that is in this quadrant here would mean that these are things that are easy to do. These are things that you are most likely the activities that you're already doing would be under this implement. It means that you can do them effortlessly, or you're already doing them even almost effortlessly. They are things that we know about you. Some of the reasons why you were selected to attend this program would have been some of the things that would be here in this implement phase. So these are things that you can do tomorrow. They may not be so hard to do, they may not be so important, but these are things that give or take you are already doing them. You don't have any issues doing them. So we call those ones quick wins. So under implement here are quick wins. So these are things that you can do now within the next 3 months to 6 months that will give you traction, give you visibility, give you impact, give you income that you can now leverage on to do the things that you will have under consider. So what consider means is that these are high value projects, but they are hard to do, but they have very high payoff. So you want to put in critical planning into doing it. You want to give it time before you do it. You want to gather resources before you can implement them. You want to think more strategically before you can do them. So these are these are the things you will create strategy for. Sorry for my handwriting. So you create strategy. You create strategy for all for this. What I mean by strategy is this. You know that yes, the things that you really want to do that is and um the things that you really want to do under consider are things that are different. Like I said, quick wins are things that people are already doing, right? You're already doing it already, but these things under consider are most likely things that you that you've not thought of before, that nobody is doing before, that will make you stand different. And it is important that you do them, but you may not have the resources to do them yet because it is hard to implement. So you want to consider them in the sense that you want to use all the results from your implement to 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 carry them out. So you will leverage on the impact you've made through implement or through the quick wins. You will leverage on all the resources that you've gathered through the quick wins. You will leverage on all the tractions that you've been able to generate through the quick wins to carry out the this this competitive projects. So this means that you, like I said, you cannot do them now, right? So let's say for instance, if you do implement the quick wins within 6 months, then you can say that do you will implement the things under consider in 1 year. Do you understand? Can you see? You're already doing strategy. You're already doing a strategic plan. Remember what I said in the beginning, that strategy is how you manipulate your resources per time. And so we are now manipulating our resources. The resources that you have that you have at the moment can give you your quick wins, right? Then we will use the results that we gather from our quick win to implement our our competitive values, which is under consider. So you will be at rest and you will have peace of mind by the time you are able to create this timetable for your plans. So it may not even be 1 year. So you can say for the next 2 years you're going to be doing just the quick wins, or for the next 1 year you're going to be doing just the quick wins. Then after like 1 or 2 years you will begin to do the consider. So for instance, for uh, for Zozo networks, we our implement then was safe project, which is for teenagers. We used that to make a lot of noise, used it to gather funds, used it to become important, and generate traction and visibility. Then we started doing things that we want to do after 3 years of doing safe, which is YID, for instance, or our consulting services and all of those things. Do you understand? So it is very important that you understand these two quadrants. The third part is the kill part. So it does not necessarily mean that you are killing you're killing the idea. You are not killing the idea. What you're doing is you're leaving this idea behind. Now, kill is hard to do and it has a low payoff, but it may align with your passion and vision. And so if you do if you do this quadrant if you do this quadrant if you do this quadrant 1 and 2 for many years and you become rich, you become a jagaban, then you can now decide to do this quadrant 4, the kill part. But what we are saying now is that kill it for now. Prioritize logic over passion for now. Leave it somewhere for now till you become, till you are able to do your 1 and 2, make income, impact, and visibility from it. Then you can use all of that to do 4, to do the kill part. The fourth one is prioritize. Prioritize means that keep it somewhere, that if there is excess funds one day or there is excess resources one day, we want to do it. It has low impact, but it is easy to do. So if we don't have, if we just have time and we just don't know what else to do, we it will be on our list of priority of things that we can, of things that we can do at those times. They are not very impactful, but they are things that we can use to engage our team. They are things that we can use to to bring people together. There are things that are non-essential. You understand? As in, these are things like maybe having an office space. These are things like um, doing birthday for your staff. It's easy to do, right? But it has low impact in the terms of your mission. How does doing celebrating people's birthday add to your mission? It does not really add to it directly, but it's easy to do, and it's also important that you do it. So this is where all of priority is where all of those kind of things comes into it. Things that are really, they don't have payoff, they don't bring money, they don't bring visibility, they don't bring impact, but you have to still do them if you have the time, when you have the resources, and also you prioritize them over, kill. Do you understand? So kill is when you become super rich and you don't have anything you want to do again, then you can do kill. So I hope you will use this for even your daily life. So why is the things I mentioned under priority important? Let me quickly tell you about the sunflower. Now, the sunflower is a very interesting plant. Whenever you see a sunflower, the most important part of a sunflower is is this is this place, that bulge in the middle, because that is what carries this bulge here, because that is what carries the nectar, right? So what will benefit the butterfly is in that bulge. But why do you think that this sunflower has all these yellow petals? The sunflower have to have petals because there is no butterfly that would come if there is nothing attracting them. So it is the yellow petals that actually attract the butterfly to come. So when the butterfly comes closer, then the butterfly will perceive the scent of the nectar. Then the butterfly can now take the nectar. Then pollination will happen. Then the flower will blossom and create other flowers, right? So for you to scale, you have to sell, but you must be able to attract customers from afar. So it is until you attract them and they taste what you have, that is when they can trade value back to you. So it is important that you build petals for your project. For 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 all we care, this petal is not important. So these are things that are not particularly important. They are not particularly directly related to your mission. When I say important, I am saying it in the light of your impact, visibility, and impact, basically your mission. They don't particularly align with your mission, and they sometimes don't even bring money directly, but they make you look attractive. These are things like having a social media account, even when you're not, even when you're not selling, even when you're not selling online. This is like making your staff happy, making your volunteers happy, creating a program for your volunteers, and all of those kind of things. These are petals. Petals can also be things that at the end of the day helps you generate money. The petal is responsible for for the sunflower's ability to photosynthesize. So they helps generate nutrients. So this is, you can see that in the light of community engagement, meeting with community leaders, building stakeholders, understanding stakeholders, creating relationships with them. It does not necessarily it does not necessarily contribute to impact, right? But they are needed for impact to be sustainable. So for a sunflower to be sustainable, it has to photosynthesize. So I want you to always have this sunflower thing at the back of your mind. Let me give you an example. I worked at an organization some years back, and they they do a program. They celebrate birthday for old people that are older than 70 years old. So any old person that in Nigeria, that is any notable old person in Nigeria that is older than, I think, 65 or 70, they organize free birthday for the person. They will get the cake, get the food. The person just needs to attend the birthday. And we scan through newspapers, scan through books, biographies to look for these names, and then we'll go and look for how to contact them. I'll tell them want to celebrate their birthdays for their next birthday for them. It was very stupid to me when I first started working there, because I felt, why are these people celebrating birthday for random people? But I got it when I started thinking in light of the sunflower phenomenon. That program, that birthday, is a petal. It's a petal because it attracts people to know their organization. One, it serves for publicity. Now, you know what we do when we get when we celebrate a birthday for someone, we'll tell the person that we would like to invite all your friends to attend the birthday. Please give us all their contacts. Then the person will give us their contacts. We will go a step further. We'll do a documentary for the person's birthday. So we'll record all of their friends, their wives, their children, and that way we are doing publicity, we are creating a database for more birthdays, and we are publicizing the work that we do when they all come for birthdays. Sometimes we don't even need to do any ask anything. It's the celebrants themselves, because they are rich. I know one rich Nigerian that we did for, and the man gave us 10 million naira right there at his birthday. And all we have spent on the birthday was probably like maybe 250,000. So it can also come and give you money like that. So that's a strategy, right? So I want you to think wide and deep. Build petals for your project, and tomorrow we'll talk more. Do have a lovely evening.